Hey, I'm watching my daughter destroy everything in my office because she knows it's podcast night.
I don't know when you're going to bring her on as a special guest. That's clearly what she wants.
Yeah, have you seen all the photos of when she's trying, like, she tries to sit up here and do the podcast?
I think it's adorable.
Yeah, it's insane. So welcome everyone. We're getting censored on YouTube. We're getting censored everywhere. I'm on like profile like number 9. I keep getting like deplatformed and stuff like that, but they're messing with our view count. So go ahead and hit the like button and make sure to share. We're backing this up on multiple platforms as well in case they try and take us down. They're threatening us with our 3rd strike. And I'm like, so we've got some super special guests on today. Catherine and I, as we're working with patients and we're advocating and things like that, we're when it comes down to having to be able to pay for like an attorney fee or even the massive amount of hospital bills that come after a hospitalization, or if the primary financial provider isn't able to like work, it's financially devastating people. And I definitely am seeing that when I was trying to help the Romero family. We did not have any funding to get an attorney to try and, get him off that ventilator. And he's the first patient that I've ever lost, and he didn't die of COVID. And I promised myself that I would never allow that to happen again. So it's such a huge issue with finances that we have brought in a financial team to kind of help educate and offer services to everyone's. And they'll tell you more about like the whole economic status of the country, but it's pretty bad. And we're all kind of struggling right now, unless you're big pharma, then you're making a killing, literally and figuratively. So.
Absolutely, raking it in.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that Blue Cross Blue Shield owns the pharmaceutical company that manufactures Regeneron?
No, I did not.
Yeah. I'm just like, this is illegal. It should all be illegal. And then, guys, Kristen is going to be joining us shortly too. So she may pop in a little bit. She's just making her way back for the podcast and that. Okay. But give us a shout out. Tell us where you're from. We are definitely getting censored because normally we have a lot more viewers on by now. So I think our algorithm's getting messed with.
We should take over. My son just started a trick shot YouTube channel, and he's getting thousands of views. So maybe we should broadcast from his channel next time.
Really, maybe we need to post something that like breaks the algorithm. It's just like what does he do on his YouTube channel? He just like does like stunts or something.
Yeah, trick shots. So bottle flipping. Yeah, with baseballs, with ping pongs, making these crazy shots.
Randomly put one of those episodes on ours. It'll break the algorithm, and it's kind of fun.
So, yeah, it's really entertaining.
I have to post funny, like random things sometimes to break the algorithms. So we've got Louisiana, and where else? We've got Kentucky, Langley, British Columbia. It's nighttime right now in the UK. They jump on afterwards. Washington, Oregon. Sarah's from Kristen's neck of the woods. Sorry, Canada's going to hell. Tennessee. Yep, everyone's saying show and share the pages because they're censoring us. Oregon. Haven't had too many cases from Oregon. Bay Area. I've had a lot of California cases lately.
Mm-hmm.
Canada.
With a lot of cases. Although I have just as many cases of patients not getting services and getting sick. This week I had a patient who had an exposure, and because of the exposure, they wouldn't let him have dialysis because he couldn't get a test fast enough. So then he ended up septic in the hospital.
And Stacy's warning us not to use trigger words. You'll see our audience warn us because we're so used to it. We'll get shut down. So thank you, Stacy, for reminding us. Yeah, like our own audience doesn't want to shut down. They try and keep us in. So, oh yeah. So it's just been insane, folks, and we're also glad to have you here.
You always done great guests on tonight. I'm excited.
I'm super excited to find
the dream team.
For real. We're having Ceranise back from the Methodist nurse group because she's also a nurse entrepreneur, and she brought her whole finance team with her. So let's go ahead and let's bring them on.
There she is.
So go ahead, Ceranise. This is all for you, lady. We brought on the experts, help our viewers and their finances, because I don't want another family in the same position as that one that I helped, where we didn't have the money to save a life, to save their home from foreclosure, all of that. So you're our expert. Help us out.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you, Catherine. And I know my good friend, I forgot her name. She's not here yet, but she's going to jump right on. And I want to also say a special thank you to all of our viewers. Guys, tonight's episode, it's episode 40, which is my favorite number, one of my favorite numbers. So guys, you guys are in for a treat tonight. I'm telling you. I know Nicole have had all kind of different people come on her podcast, on her show. But tonight, you're in for a treat. If you guys haven't done so already, please invite your friends, get other people to come in. This is really, guys, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. You are all in for a treat. So go ahead, invite other people, share the link, get your friends and family on here, because they're going to learn a lot. I don't want to say too much, you guys. I was here just about 3 weeks ago, and I, again, thank you, Nicole, for bringing me back. And I mentioned, because I'm a registered nurse by profession, just a little bit over 15 years in the profession. And I was in a very good position at Methodist, working as a registered nurse, a good spot, good department. I was working, enjoying it until, COVID hit. Then COVID hit, everything kind of changed. When I said everything kind of changed, is the fact that you guys know how nurses and medical staffs, how they've been treated. So during COVID, we've gone above and beyond, guys. If you do work in the medical field, go ahead, give us a thumb up, so you know how hard it is out there. So during COVID, all 2020, we work above and beyond. And then came 2021, they roll out the COVID vaccine, and then because of that, I found myself without a job. About 4 months ago, almost 5 months ago. But guys, I'm so grateful. Thank God I had something else to fall back on, because being in the medical field, I understand how, it's important for people to have not just a good credit, but thank God this information found me. It found me back the end of last year. And I jumped on it, and I was able, while I was doing nursing, I was also had something on the side, because I have the love, the passion, the heart of helping people. So I found myself not only helping people with their medical health, their physical health, but also I was helping people with their with their finances, also with their credit health. So when I was without a job, it was easy for me to transition and kind of tap into this full time, guys. And that's really have been the best decision I've made. I kid you guys not. We're going to present you guys with some facts and statistics, but the number of people that found themselves without a job since COVID-19, and the amount of people that right now gone into foreclosure, bankruptcy, you name it, and with medical bill. And I'm sure Nicole can relate. A lot of you guys can relate. Medical bills, it's the number one reason why a lot of people file for bankruptcy. And some people, they don't even know that there's hope for them. So as you can see, it's four of us here. Each of us, we're gonna share something different. We cover a variety of things, but it all comes to that. we're helping people, we're saving people's life. We are to the rescue, you guys. So I don't want to say too much. I'll get to share more with you guys, but I'm just saying we are the team that comes to the rescue. And don't take this information for granted, because we all from different path of life, but the love for helping people brought all of us together to be able to deliver something very amazing, so we can all learn and earn at the same time. So without further ado, I'm going to, I don't know which direction we're gonna go, but we have some big, all of us, some very big superstars here. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves one at a time, and they'll let you guys know, their background, why we're here, and the problem that we are facing. I kind of tap on a little bit, and the solution that we have. And then once we're done, we'll have some call to action. And as we go on, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us all the questions that you may have. All right. That's my time for now.
So let's start with your brother, because you guys are twins, and we just found that out, and I'm so excited about that.
Absolutely. I have right under me, if you guys see a gentleman with the first name that's almost like mine. His first name is Ceranise, and his last name is Lajulus. My last name is Alcindor, because I'm married and my last name changed, but we are twins. And we do a lot of things together. One of the things we used to do together, guys, thank God we didn't get in trouble. The fact that the names, before I changed my last name, we used to do transactions for each other in their bank accounts, and they never noticed anything. So that's one of the things we used to do without getting in trouble. That you get to do that once you twins. All right, Ceranise, he is his background, he's in finance. Really, he's in finance. He's also in Medicare, Medicaid, and he was sharing with me, and also he's part of this company that we in, and we'll share with you the name of our company. He's my business partner as well, and he's later on, he's probably gonna tap onto the will and trust, and which is a big problem now. A lot of people are dying at all kind of age. People don't know the importance of having a will and trust and life insurance. Go ahead, Ceranise. The mic is yours. You're on mute.
Well, hey, start over again. Like I said, we're going back at it again. It is a pleasure for me to be here to share some really, really valuable information with everyone on the broadcast for this evening. My background is in finance. Previously, I was working in state financial regulations with the state of Florida. So I did that for a couple of times, about 2 years I did that. And then I got into financial services as well. So really, finance has always been my thing. I've always loved working with money, with finance, financial services, because even when I was in high school, that has always been the thing that I did for much of the time that I was in high school. So I went to college and I did exactly the same thing. So now professionally, even my entrepreneurial aspect, I'm still in finance, and I love talking about money, love to talk and help people. So like my twin sister just said, eventually later, we're going to get to talk about finance and wills, and also the importance of having life insurance. So that's what I have for tonight. And then I'm going to let the other guests talk more about themselves.
Very much, guys. Thank you, Catherine and Nicole, for having me here. I've always been self-employed since the early age of 21. This has been quite an experience for, I currently own 2 restaurants. I have 50 employees. So now I know what it's like, but, I'm always reading, topics in the industry of finances and all that. But I've also read and came across information that really struck me, where, studies have revealed that most people are 2 paychecks away from entering a financial disaster. And that's what this pandemic has caused. And, another thing that really opened my mind to this was that the government had a lot of programs where, for business owners, for every corporation in the United States of America, they put on the table $150 on behalf of the National Disaster Relief Fund. They had loans, very, very low interest rate. I mean, literally handing it to people on a silver platter, up to $150,000 per owner of any given corporation throughout America. And it was very, very difficult to witness that a lot of people, especially minorities, they couldn't even qualify for that because they had bad credit. So can you imagine, your business suffering, and now the government trying to assist you, and because your lack of having good credit, and disable you from, bettering your situation, and we've seen a lot of business plummet, due to the situation. It's very stressful, and our industry has actually tenfold. While most businesses plummeted, our industry, what we do, has drastically increased in a huge spike in an upward trend. So we're very excited to be that, and we'll be discussing that tonight as well. It's my pleasure to also share this platform with Coach Legend out of the St. Louis, Missouri market. Coach Legend, please, the platform is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Powerful lineup, powerful information. As you stated, my name is Coach Legend, and so I'm just grateful to be here. One of the things, and so one thing that we all have in common, we talk about credit. So the thing is, I went to college and went to grad school. No one taught me about credit, and so if they did, maybe I wasn't at a place to where I was receiving it. So I was actually born in Haiti. I came to the U.S. at the tender age of 7. And so when I was 19, I started my first business. And so, but I had to go through a lot. Like my first vehicle that I ever financed, and which I didn't understand at the time, was a 30% interest rate. So I called my good friend over to come in. I was just so excited. In the process of trying to get approved, my credit score dropped over 40 points. But I didn't understand how the credit score worked. And so he came over. He was like, let me look at he's like, what is your APR? So he checked with 30%. He was like, oh my God, there's no way. And you're never going to pay off this vehicle. And because he was educating me, he says the majority of your payments will go towards interest and not principal. And I couldn't comprehend what he was saying. I said, the only principal I know is from school. And I wasn't even trying to be funny. But that just goes to show you the lack of, financial literacy. I mean, there's just so many things that people don't understand. I went to college again, and I landed on my dream job. I couldn't even get it because it was contingent on credit. There are a lot of military personnel, they can't even get a higher clearance because of their credit. I had a young lady who's been employed at her job for well over 9 years. She was going for a promotion, which was an executive promotion. Her current credit score was a 573. Do you realize that she couldn't even get that promotion because of her credit? Thank God we were able to help her to change that current situation. I had a client in Chicago. She had 2 kids, and she was in a very rough neighborhood. She was calling me. She's like, it's gunshots and fights like every single day. We're trying to get out of this neighborhood. They couldn't even get out to move to a nicer neighborhood because of their credit. Obviously, thank God they were able to go through the program to help change that. And so when I think about credit, see, my credit was shot. I didn't even understand how it worked. I had student loans, repossession, and judgments. My lowest credit score was a 408. I don't even know how you even get that low. I mean, the spectrum, you start at 300. 300 is supposed to be a movie, not a credit score. But I was really that low. And so the reason I'm so passionate, because we are in a position and we have a platform to help people improve their credit and finances. Like that 3-digit number can have a 6-figure impact on your life. Like you're paying a lot of extra interest that you don't have to. I had a good friend of mine, his wife, they just purchased a new home, and she actually had to purchase the home because she had the better credit score. So she asked him to get the utilities. He had to put $1,000 down just to get the lights and gas on. I mean, see, a lot of people don't talk about these things. Nobody is talking about credit at the dinner table. Obviously, now we're well over 800 credit score, but it became, now we're in a position to help break generational curses. So I'm just so passionate because, we have a program where we physically go into schools now to help empower young people from the ages of 8 to 18 on the matters of personal finance. Because if we don't break the generational curse right now, I mean, like Juan said, I mean, there are a lot of programs out there, and all you had to do was have a decent credit score. Interest rate is an all-time low right now, and folks still can't even get their dream home. And so if we don't talk about it, if we don't, show people and educate people how credit works, if we don't show people how to leverage credit, and I will end with this. I had a family of 5 in a household. They all went in, came on board. They improved their credit. and all 5 of them improved their credit. Now watch this. Now they had bad credit. They all went over 700. All 5 were able to get $100,000 loan, and this is the power of credit. Watch this. As a unit, they went and started a commercial cleaning account. They went and started a coffee shop. They went and started a restaurant. They went and started a construction company. They went and started a hookah lounge. Guess what they were able to do? 5 different businesses leveraging OPM, other people's money. And so now they're doing amazingly well, but they would have never got there if they didn't improve their credit. So this is why, credit is such an amazing topic, and I'm glad that we're here. So I'm going to return it back to you. I don't know, Catherine.
I will take it, and then I'm just going to throw some questions out, and whoever wants to answer can jump in and answer. But for everyone that's watching, if you have any questions regarding finances, trusts, or credit scores, let us know, and hopefully we can get those answered. But first of all, tell us about, you talked about generational curses, and I'm just so huge on that because so much of our world is created by these beliefs that we have inherited, and we don't have to live that way. It's our own selves, our own mind that's trapped there. So what are the biggest beliefs around money, around finances that you guys have run into that you're able to like jump in and help break down and recreate new beliefs?
Juan, go ahead.
Absolutely. Look, I witness. We see credit every day. I mean, that's what we do now for a living, right? I mean, out of this spare bedroom in my house, a home-based business, I'm doing over $250,000 a month by helping people. That's a $3 million business that from home online. And let me just share. I had a young lady, right? She, you don't have to necessarily, you don't have to owe money to have bad credit. One late payment that you might have made in your credit card and your automobile note, that's enough to destroy your credit and have it plummet up to 100 points, and for it to remain that way for the next 7 to 10 years. So I had a young lady, right, from Sunset Park, Brooklyn. She was devastated. She said, I have bad credit. I went and trying to, probably with these low interest rates, I could probably end up getting a house. It was so bad that they said, listen, see you in the next 7 years from now. She came in with a 524 credit score, which is really bad. And in a matter of 5 months, we took it to 706. She was able to buy her house 5 months later without having to wait. Yeah, in 5.5 months. Yes. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's situation is different. But there's people, with different scenarios. But we've seen some great things happen in this platform. And there are laws that are designed to help people. So they don't have to. And it's designed for the consumer. So they don't have to wait 7 to 10 years to be able to live the American dream in this country, And there's so many stories. I mean, we could talk all night about this because we witness this, we live this on a daily basis. I mean, we've seen people increase their scores drastically in less than 12 months. I've seen it fix in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. We had someone with 2 repossessions in their credit report get removed in 6 months. We had a guy with a bankruptcy, and on the 7th month, it got removed. But if it wasn't, because of that, they'd have to wait 10 years in a bankruptcy for it to get removed. So we're definitely impacting many people's lives because of what's available out there. But most people don't know it, that it's out there for them. Yes.
It sounds like it's the fixes or the remedies are out there for them, and it's I would that 5 months, like in that story about the girl, that's a lot faster than I would have imagined. So what are the strategies that you all are teaching?
Well, I'm gonna have Coach Legend is a superstar in this country. I mean, he's a guy who has over 1 million followers on Instagram because everybody just seeking advice. I mean, I'm gonna have him answer that.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm gonna share something personal. So my dad, he had a house. So we had a house, really nice house. And when I got older is when he told me this story and I almost had a heart attack. So we had a house that we've been paying for forever. And I didn't know about refinancing. So my dad had coworkers and friends that were educating him. And so obviously, when you refinance it, reset your terms might increase or decrease your payments. Typically it increases. And so do you realize that my dad had this house forever? And at the time I wasn't paying bills, my dad was putting me through school. And so he was the one educating me. And so, but my point is this: we got evicted. Years later, my dad said we had $12,000 left on the house. And so because we got evicted at the time, we had less than 30 days to move. Because of that, I lost all of my, photo albums for when I was younger, all my academics award achievement when I was younger. I mean, so much memory, toys from our youth that we're never going to get back, all because he wasn't educated. See, when you grow up in an environment, you're going to take advice from someone that probably doesn't even know much than you. See, it's because they're not even educated. So you got basically the blind leading the blind. And so just to see that we had that eviction, and I was in a place to help him, to see that we had $12,000 on a house, just to lose that like that was just devastating. So you were asking a question. See, there's a lot of free information out there. See, there is something called the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971, and that was approved by Congress. So that basically state that anything that is negative on your derogatory, it can be disputed to be removed. It's not saying that you don't owe the item. Like in my case, watch this. I had student loans, repossession, and judgments. Now it's on my credit report. My background, I was a car salesman for over a decade. So I would witness people come in that couldn't even get approved. I was getting mad at people that couldn't finance the car that I couldn't finance because I had bad credit. See, I didn't care about my credit. I just lived with bad credit my whole life. It wasn't until a few years ago when my lady and I, we were expecting our very first child, that I was trying to move from this. I'm in St. Louis. So I was trying to move from the city to the county, and we got denied. And we had about 4 to 6 months worth of rent money. When we got denied, I was so embarrassed because I'd never been denied for renting before. And so it made me realize that although cash is king, but credit is power. So it's just a lack of knowledge, and it's free information. So we have a process. Once a client gets started, we do what's called a detailed analysis to see what they have. From there, it's just about the verbiage. We have a team of credit attorneys that can get any item removed. It doesn't mean that you don't owe the item. And so it's also right to educate people. When you have an item that goes into collection, I always tell people, if it's in collection, then you no longer owe the account. So I'm going to use this example, Catherine. Let's say you owe Bank of America, and Bank of America sells that debt to Catherine Collection Company. Watch this. Well, we're just going to use one collection company. So see, you have a written contractual agreement with Bank of America. When they sell that debt, that means they wrote it off their taxes. So that means you're not obligated to pay Catherine Collection Company, but most people are not educated. So Catherine Collection Company, bought this debt for pennies on a dollar. Guess what they're doing? They're harassing you, calling you after inappropriate hours, but you don't know that. They're sending you settlement letters. So you're selling on something that you don't even owe anymore. You don't have a written contractual agreement with Catherine Collection Company. So anything that's in collection, there's no point of even trying, unless it's something that's like $300 or less, like a minimal amount. You can call and do what's called like a pay for deletion to get that item removed. But other than that, you want to go through a credit, like a credit restoration company so you can get those things removed. Like Juan was saying, people believe that they got to wait 7 years to get an item removed. That's not the case. It's not the case. Any item can be challenged and can be removed. Imagine, and then I will end with this. And some of the myths that we have, there's so many people that are renting. They've been renting their whole life. See, the issue with that, your credit dictates what school you go to. You cannot get a job because of your credit. And so because of those things. So if you're living in an environment or in a community that's like a low income, like it dictates the kind of future that your kids will have. Most people won't move from their environment. So with that being said, if everybody is just trained to rent, then you're never gonna make enough income or improve your credit to where you can own. When you don't own, you're not breaking the generational curses. If you're gonna live here for 40 years and rent, you might as well own something that you can pass down to your kids. See, it's time for people to pass down wills instead of bills. And that's what's happening. So it's the blind leading the blind, and no one is being educated on this, but there's so much free information. When you look at what happened last year, because I'm big on numbers, last year we had 43 million people that had a 599 or lower. This year the number increased. But why do you think it increased? So many people lost their jobs, right? And so they're no longer making payments. So they got furloughed. They're now, guess what? They have no income coming in, yet they still have to pay their bills. They're leveraging their credit card to max out their credit cards because they got to pay every single bill and still live and eat. But guess what's happening? Well, there's no income to offset that. That's going to lead to late payments. That's going to lead to collections. So we went from 43 million people last year to now over 80 million people now to have a 599 or lower. Isn't that insane? And guess what? All because they don't have the knowledge on how to use their credit. They didn't have another stream of income. They probably only had one source of income, which is dangerous. And so it's, if you look at the world, there's so many people that were able to leverage, crypto, stock options, and different side businesses that were able to stay afloat. But it all started with credit, because you could have got a loan at a low interest rate to help you carry over.
That is so much good information. I feel like we talk so much on this podcast about, the pandemic and what's the just like the fear porn that's out there about being sick, right? And people get a test and then all of a sudden they panic and then they just go straight to the hospital and then it's straight to the vet, and it's, then the prognosis isn't good. And what I'm hearing you say is that a lot of people's mindset around finances are the same, that they don't realize that there are so many options out there, that you guys are all available to coach, to help enlist lawyers, to improve your credit scores, to find those angles to get those finances turned around. And I think that is such a beautiful message, especially in a time like this when people, I know I have nurses and healthcare workers reaching out to me every day because they're in a financial bind right now because of the new laws and regulations. Well, they're not laws, they're mandates. Don't want to misrepresent that. But, when you're, a lot of times people, when you're at that crisis point, it can go one or two ways, right? You go to worst case scenario and panic, right? And then no good decisions come of that. Or when you're in this financial turning point where, maybe your employment has changed or your financial situation has changed, you can also, reach out for help. You can also get educated and find all those resources out there. So maybe we should turn to, thank you, Coach Legend. I think that's amazing. Maybe we should turn to the wills and trusts portion and teach us about how that can help us break down some fear and some stress around those end of life decisions.
Yeah. So, Catherine, let me go ahead and pick up on where Coach Legend was speaking, that we have an obligation to pass down wills instead of bills. Now, I'm sure everybody in here love music. So I have a pop quiz. So everybody, what's the common denominator between Michael Jackson, Prince, and Aretha Franklin? And they have one thing in common. Now, don't say music, because we all know they're all musicians. So that's the one thing they have in common. All right. So, okay. So, all right. So here's the thing, though. The bad thing, they're no longer with us, but primarily they all died without a will. Can you believe that?
Mhm.
Millions, practically billions of dollars in limbo because someone wasn't responsible enough to have a will. Now, there are many, 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 many benefits to having a will, okay? And those benefits, I mean, I could take the whole time here to talk about the benefits of having a will. But here's one thing I'm very proud of, the fact that all of us, we are part of an organization that is doing the best it can to help people pass down wills instead of bills. Listen, we all know for the past year and a half, 2 years now, it's been nothing but COVID-19, coronavirus. And many people have been caught by surprise. They had no idea it was coming. And just like Michael Jackson, just like Prince, just like Aretha Franklin, they left and they had no wills. So when you live this earth, you have no wills, you are living other people in a limbo. Okay. There are many benefits to having that. And the good news, just to add to what Coach Legend was saying, the fact that many people don't know, there are resources, there are companies, attorneys that are ready to offer you those resources at no cost to you. And it's not a time right now to be living without a will. Now, our company, that's one of the benefits. Again, I'm sure Coach Legend, Mr. Juan Nunes is going to talk about that. And some of the benefits that you get is that with this company, it offers you free will. Okay. So there are many benefits to having that. So when you look at having a will, so why should people have wills? Well, the primary thing to me, tomorrow is not promised. Okay. So we all here today, but tomorrow is not promised. So that's one of the reasons why you need to start having a will. So please, I implore you, if you are sitting here and you have no wills, and I'm asking you to reach out to maybe Coach Legend, Mr. Nunez, or anyone in this panel, and they can tell you how you can get document for at no cost to you. And we're not gonna do it, but I'm telling you, there are companies, our company offer you the resource that you can get that taken care of for you within days, and that will bring peace of mind to you. All right. So number two, now we talk about Prince, Michael Jackson, Aretha. Those were hundreds of millions of dollars, I said, to the tune of billions of dollars. They had, so when you die, you don't have a will. You know what happened? You let the government come in trying to dictate what happened to the money, to I guess you would say the resources, the asset that you have worked years to accumulate. And that's not something you want to do, because we all know the government doesn't know any better, right? So nobody here wants the government to come in and mangle in your business. So that's not something that we want to have. So number two, if you have children, if you have younger children, you get to dictate who and how those children are taken care of. Okay, that's number two, or I was just a number three reason why you need to have the wills. And again, we talk about tomorrow's not promised, and we talk about how even the estate. Now, most people hear about estate planning, be like, "Oh my God, I don't have millions of dollars. I don't have. I'm not a millionaire, so I don't have the money." When you talk about estate planning, that's not for me. We all have an estate, so all it means, we all have an estate. So how do you decide how this get handled? Who will be in charge of your estate? So you get to do that when you have a will. When you have a will, you are in control, folks. I don't want anyone here to say I don't have a will because it costs money. I don't want anybody in here to say I don't have a will because I don't know how to get it done, because those are free, easy resources that's available to you. Again, Coach Legend talk about knowledge, right? So one thing I realized in my field, again, like I said, I work my background has been financial regulations. I work for the state of Florida. I was a financial regulations, and then basically got into financial services. And now I primarily work with people over the age of 65. And people over the age of 65, sometimes, unfortunately, you have people maybe 65, 70, 80 years old still don't have a will. You know why? Because they don't have the knowledge. They think it is one of the hardest things to do. In reality, it is not. It is one of the easiest thing you can do for yourself. You do it for yourself, and you do it for people that you love. Now, there are other things, there are other benefits our company, the company that we work for, does for a lot of people. When we talk about resources, how about life insurance? Couple last week, and I'm sure most of us here might have watched a movie called Friday. I think that movie came out maybe 20 years ago, late 1990. I don't know how long, but say 20 years ago. There was a gentleman who was very popular. Matter of fact, he might have been in movies and televisions for the past 20, 25, 30 years. Guess what? He died. Guess what? He had zero money in life insurance. Do we think life insurance is important? Yes, life insurance is very, very important. Why it's important? Because because that's one of the tools and resources. When you have a will, it allows you to to dictate, or at least to have peace of mind, for people that you're going to leave behind. So again, we have a company. I am part of a company that offers those resources to anyone at no cost. Okay. Again, there's no need for you to go around saying that the will costs too much money. It does not. And even if it did, our company offers that to you at no cost. Now, even life insurance, again, those are resources that our company is offering to people at no cost to you. So again, our team, I'm sure Mr. Nunez and Coach Legend can add more to that. Again, we're talking about knowledge. We're talking about resources, knowing where and how to get resources. And that's one of the things that we want people to know, because those are free resources that's available to anyone. All you got to do is just know who and how to get those things, and you can have them at no cost to you.
So you can actually, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying you can actually get a will for free.
Yes,
it's included. It's included in our, in our protection plan.
Okay.
But I do want to touch on a subject that really caught my attention when we all embraced this company and looked further into it. He mentioned life insurance. We have every agent that participates with us, just even an example, they have free life insurance with no medical checkup. That's amazing, and it starts at $30,000 and it can go as high as $100,000. So that's quite an incentive, to be part of this program, to be able to empower others. Well, one thing is to develop a big business, but the other thing is, to impact the lives of so many people out there that really need some, like Coach Legend said, the blind cannot lead the blind, And we have, when you embrace this, financial literacy course that we have here, that what we practice on a daily basis, then you carry yourself different. Look, I come from a 525 credit score. Everything that shines is not gold. Even though I own 2 restaurants, everybody's taking Paul to pay Peter and so on, So, but when you learn the fundamentals of how to build your credit, how to, now you have access to money. I get these credit cards on a daily basis now, because my credit's no longer 525. I never got a letter with a pre-approval. When I had 525, now I get them every day, multiple letters every day. You've been approved here. You've been approved for 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, so on. So it's a good situation once you really, really get to know how the system works. You want to avoid making a late payment. A late payment could really destroy anyone's credit. You want to avoid so many little things out there, and then there's little things out there that we know that could literally boost your credit tremendously. Most people, if they get evicted, that will definitely go on their credit report, but they never find a way to show you people's good behavior when they pay their rent on time throughout so many years. We have a program that does that too. So you inject into your credit score up to 2 years of credit, of great credit history. We had someone who came into this country a year ago, so he had a 0 credit. We put him on that program. He went from a 0 to a 698. Because we just added his good behavior on his prompt payments on his rent. So there's so many little things out there that could be very, very helpful to everyone in this country, which will make a world of a difference.
I love that. We all need a little help with our credit score, I believe. All right, so who wants to tell us? I think Coach Legend wants to tell us about the different programs that you offer for people that definitely have a financial knowledge deficit and are ready to learn.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Awesome job, Juan. So now so this is what we all have in common here. Okay, so we offer credit restoration, plus 12 additional services. So we're not a credit restoration company. We're a financial literacy company. So the first thing is credit restoration, which I broke down. So if somebody needs to improve their credit, we're going to educate them. See, it's one thing to just repair someone's credit, but we don't want any repeat clients. We want people to understand, the factors. See, like Juan stated, one late payment can drop somebody's credit score up to 120 points. So if we meet a client, like that late, we just need to educate them. But also, there's something credit utilization. See, if you have $1,000 limit card, right, credit card, 30% of $1,000 is $300. So your balance should never exceed 300. If it does, it's going to drop your credit score. And so most people don't even understand that. See, for some people, they don't need credit restoration. They need credit education. And so we want to teach people on that. So when I had improved my credit score, guess what I did? See, now I can add my family members and close friends as an authorized user. See, you have people that turns 18. See, this is why I'm so passionate about this. In my community, we have people that turn 18, they need credit repair. How do you need credit repair at 18? That's because we're not breaking the generational curse. Because our parents, blind leading the blind, are adding a light bill or a gas bill onto this kid's name, and they can't pay it, and it's probably a new child with social, and now they're leveraging this child's social, and so we're just repeating that process. So when a child turns 18, and they're trying to apply for something, and they already need credit restoration, where everybody else at 18 has a 750. Why? Because they were able to educate their child. They were able to add a trade line. A trade line is me adding one of my season accounts, and you're getting the history, which is amazing, right? And so we have the credit restoration, but we have credit builder, where we teach people, hey, this is how you build your credit. Like Juan was talking about, most people are renting. So, but guess what? They don't. The only time their rent shows up on their credit report is when they get evicted, and that doesn't even make sense, because we have this program to where they can get that reported, and that's going to boost your credit score in as little as 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, right? And so that credit builder helps educate people. Now we also have a credit attorney. So just for people that don't understand, a credit attorney can charge you, $250 an hour, 350. This is all included for for a lower monthly payment. So our attorneys, they can evaluate those difficult cases. So if like they will go to court on your behalf, if there's money to be won, like they will share that with you. That is just crazy. Now, all of our clients, we provide them with credit monitoring, because people are checking their scores all throughout the place. See, there's something called Vantage Score, which is only about 10% of the lenders that use that, but everybody else wants to know your FICO score. So when I was selling cars, people would come to me like, "Hey, I have a 700 credit score," but when we checked it in our system, it was like a 598, and they would have a heart attack because they couldn't understand. And so I'm like, well, it's because you're probably using Credit Karma. It's not that it's wrong, but it just uses the Vantage score. And then, again, 90% of the lenders wants to know your FICO. So we want to educate people. So we provide them with our very own credit monitoring tool, because we want them to understand that ours will show you your employment score, your mortgage score, so when you're able to go and to try to get that house, right? So your insurance score as well. So we want people to understand that. We also have a debt payoff program. This is all included. So what we're trying to do is help people eliminate debt. So you can actually compute. It basically create a financial plan that give you the exact guide to eliminate your debt quicker, to save a bunch of money, and save less on interest. So you can go from the road that you're on right now, paying this debt off in 17 years. You can get started with us. It could show you how to make it just a small increase in payments. $32 potentially extra could help you break that down in 3 years. But people just don't understand that. So this is why we provide credit education. We have identity monitoring, because there's so many people that's going through identity theft, right? And so we want people to have the peace of mind, like, hey, your credit might be bad right now, but we still want you to have identity monitoring, because we already know that we're going to help you. I just had a lady in 45 days, her credit score increased over 200 points. She almost had a heart attack. Because again, it's not if the items are yours or not. See, the credit bureaus have to get back to us. They have 30 to 45 days to get back to us. And so what's happening is there's so many different companies. There's so many different companies and individuals that's attacking. When I say attacking, that's sending out letters to the credit bureaus. And so they can only handle so much. So many items are just being removed. Again, it's not because you don't owe it, it's because they can't handle that, right? And so we also, again, we touched about the life insurance, but we also have something called financial lockbox, which is like a virtual safety box. Like, what if your house caught on fire today? Like, what happens to all your pertinent documents, your birth certificate, your social? See, we have this, this cloud that is secured and safe. See, I had a good friend of mine. She went to Vegas. She lost her purse. She couldn't even get on a plane. Thank God she had this financial lockbox. She was able to show these documents, so she was able to board the plane. Second scenario, another young lady went on a cruise. She lost her CPAS card. That's the ID that you get so you can get back on a cruise. Guess what? She couldn't even verify her identity to get back on. Thank God she was a client of ours, so she was able to leverage this financial lockbox to showcase her documents. And so we also want people to start building their net worth, because they think it's only celebrities that needs that. Like, you need to understand your net worth. And we teach people about saving goals. See, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. But most people don't have. See, we have coaches and mentors to go to the gym, but we don't have people in our lives that's teaching you about financial tips, credit repair tips, saving tips. And again, I mentioned that we have the YFL program, which youth financial literacy. If we start with people from the ages of 8 to 18, we can help make an impact. And so it's definitely impact over income. But if we educate people how to fix their credit, the income is just a byproduct of that.
I love that you're educating kids about all those financial literacy items. I think that is so needed. I feel like it's just like Nicole said earlier, I don't know why we don't teach this in school. But yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your program. I think that is amazing. Where can people find your program? Where can they get in contact with you so they can
Okay, so thank you. All of us have that's the beauty. We all lead our own businesses. And so my name is Coach Legend. So I'm on Instagram as Coach Legendary. That's Legend ARY. And so so a lot of my clients, they reach out. On my page, I have countless testimonials, and so they can view that. They also have the access to DM me, and I can we do consultations because everybody's credit profile is different. But as long as they have negative and derogatory items, we can definitely assist them. You guys can see we're all very passionate about this because, again, the lives that we're living right now is all because our credit score improve. I mean, it just so much that just becomes readily available. Like, so many people want to purchase a home, but guess what's happening? They're purchasing a home as a 580 credit score. They're never going to pay off that house. They're never going to pay off that home because see, this is what I realized, and then I can end with this. You can have two people in the same neighborhood. They could be next door neighbors. Someone has a 580 credit score. Someone have an excellent credit score. Identical homes. One payment could be like 1,600. One could be 700. So like you're paying way more. You could pay almost $1 million, and they could pay half of that. They can purchase two homes by the time you're done paying yours. But why? Why not educate yourself? See, there's so many people that's like, well, I can fix my credit myself. If that's the case, why haven't you done so? You have all this knowledge that you're not using. See, people have to understand is that, see, yes, you can fix your credit repair, but you can fix your credit by yourself. But if you were going to go to court, you would hire an attorney. Let the professionals do the work. Why be frustrated? Why try to figure it out? Right? And so, so mine is Coach Legendary. You guys can, reach out, and service to many leads to greatness. So I'm just a humble servant.
Thank you. How about you, Ceranise? Where do we find you?
Ceranise or Ceranise? I'll go since I'm talking right now. That's fine. Mine, I'm also on Instagram as Ceranise Alcindor and also Coach Ceranise. I'm on Facebook. People can DM me anytime. And if, they can DM me anytime. And as you can see, that's my Instagram. And also, I'm also on Facebook on the Ceranise Alcindor, the one and only. You won't find two. And like Coach Legend mentioned, we just so passionate. Like me, my passion, for helping people only transferred or transitioned or shifted from helping people with their medical health or physical health to now helping them with their financial health or their credit health. It's bad out there, guys. You don't have to walk around with bad credit. I mean, we're all cute people, so we're here to the rescue. And you can find us, even if you go and we watch this, you'll find us. We out there and just serving, like Coach Legend said. And yep.
I love it. Juan, where can we find you?
Sure. Juan Nunez Financial on Facebook. Juan Nunez Financial. But I just want to reiterate on something. 8 out of 10 people in this country have less than perfect credit. 8 out of 10 people. That's an outstanding number. That's a big number. And that's so sad. I would encourage everybody to really educate themselves. We got an excellent program that can really take your financial conscience to another level. And let me tell you, I am so proud. I've only been doing this for 16 months now, because someone who was featured on the Steve Harvey show walked into one of my restaurants. And I started, digging into the information, getting to learn, about it. There he is. There's a little some footage there. This young man, he's about to be interviewed. His name is Ashton Henry. Came into my restaurant. That's how I got involved with this. And today we've been able to impact from this extra bedroom in my house over 1,400 people in 1 year and 4 months because of this program. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's him right there, Ashton Henry. He's the one that the one responsible for all of us being here, actually.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true. Ceranise.
All right. So, well, again, it was good for me to be here. Really had fun discussing the importance of financial education and credit education. So, I can be found on social media with my first name, Ceranise, Ceranes. So you can find me on Facebook or even Instagram, or you can go to suitableplans.com. You can get more information on what we do, and also the credit education if you need more information. So that's how you get to find me.
Thank you guys for sharing. Does anybody have any advice for, we just have so many nurses, healthcare workers, physicians that reach out to us all the time currently because they're stepping away from the bedside, much like Ceranise did. And you guys are all successful entrepreneurs. Do you have any advice for those people taking those steps that are facing this new mandate and are wanting to step out on their own and be self-employed and, stepping out of the box and creating their own stream of income? Do you have any advice for those people that are watching?
I could touch on that. I owned supermarkets in the past in New York City. I owned travel agencies in New York City in the past. And I've owned restaurants since 2014 here. And I'm here to tell you that, and this is a great, I never thought, I thought it was a myth that you'd be able to online work from home. I said, is that possible? Until I came into this arena. And I said, wow, this is amazing that you get so much for so little. Just to give you an example, my first restaurant cost me $140,000. Now with that comes a lot of, expenses. I got 50 employees. That comes with a $75,000 payroll on a monthly basis, $13,000 in rent. It's a big nut to crack. I got 32 trucks, 16 in each restaurant coming in on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. And, I put 140,000 into that. And everybody's dream is to someday have a traditional business. but 4 out of 5 businesses fail, just because of the lack of knowledge. And when that happens, then every cent you put into there, every hard work dollar you put into that vanishes, it leaves. And here we've been able to do so well with so little. It's amazing. With less than $300, they hand this business, this turnkey business in your hands with a lot of mentorship and a lot of guidance. So I'm really excited about this. I really am. This has been quite a journey for me. In 16 months, we've been able to do so many things. I mean, and everybody here could tell you, and I mean, we have so many people doing so well. And like I said before, one thing is doing well financially, but the other thing is to have the ability to impact so many lives, putting them on the right track, So I know some people want to change their zip code. Some people want to do something, spend more time with their kids. And this, look, I used to work 16-hour days in the restaurant, 16-hour days. I go that 1 hour a day sometimes, because we're here empowering people and helping people go take their finances to the next level and to become homeowners as well. So that's what I have to say on that note. Thank you very much for having us here. Thank you. We appreciate this platform. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you everyone for coming on. We're going to pool all of our guests that were so gracious to come on and inform everybody about finances, because as you kind of saw from that article, a $1 million hospital bill. I mean, who has that kind of money? I mean, every life is worth it, but it's just ridiculous. So thank you folks once again, and make sure to send us all your social links and we'll make sure to get everyone connected with you as well. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it.
Oh, that was like so refreshing. Like as Coach Legend was talking, I'm like, oh my God, that was my upbringing. My mom was always doing these what was it? Cash advances. I'm like, we were just so poor living in our car. And I had to teach myself management, financial management.